What's up? What's up? What's up? Mic check one, two. Am I plugged in? My audio working? Sound like it is. What is cracker lacking, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Tech G in the place to be. Here to talk about some IT. All right. So let's see. I want to give a shout out to McDowell's in case you guys are like, what is that hat? Where's your army hat? Hold up. This is McDowell's. In case you get this ain't McDonald's. This is McDowell's. You got to pay homage to McDowell's coming to America where Eddie Murphy worked at. Anyways, I want to talk about some stuff, man. Shout out to Hanlon. Hanlon know what's up with McDowell's. That's right, man. We out here representing. Hey, so I want to talk about cybersecurity and IT. Is it boring? All right. I get quite a few comments from people online and in the real world talking about, oh Lord, this IT stuff is so boring. It's just so boring. Oh yeah. Arsenio Hall was mopping the floors. You remember when Samuel L. Jackson came in there and he tried to rob the place and Arsenio and Eddie gave him the business? Come on, man. We gotta hold it down for McDowell's, baby. McDowell's in the building. You know what I'm saying? Greatest restaurant of all times. But anyways, we got to talk about IT, cybersecurity and IT. Is it boring? Like I say, man, I get people in my comments who tell me this stuff is hella boring. I talk to some of my students offline. They be like, B, this stuff is hella boring. And I'm inclined to agree with them. I am inclined to agree. Listen, I'm not one of these people that's going to get up on here and just try to say all the right things just so I can get my subscribers up. I can get my super chats up. Hit the super chat, by the way, or I can sell some more courses. I'm going to keep it a buck with you, right? IT can be very boring. It really can be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to lie to you. Is my screen flickering? Am I tripping over here? See, I'm about to get some new lights up in here and jazz this whole thing up, man. But anyways, I'm not gonna be one of these people that sit here and lie to you, be like, oh, it's the most exciting thing in the world. No, I'm gonna tell you, when you're learning these certifications, yes, sometimes you might want to get a pencil and poke your eyeballs out. When you're sitting here watching a slideshow presentation, whether it's mine, somebody else's, it doesn't matter who it is. It's all the same information. Yes, sometimes this stuff can be dry and boring. Hell, even sometimes when you're working an IT job, cybersecurity, IT, whatever, sometimes it can be very boring. Trust me, I've spent a plenty of nights sitting in a network operations center on 12-hour shifts, dreaming about being someplace else. I've spent plenty of nights working at the NSA in a building with no windows, looking at systems, hoping and praying I hit the lottery so I can get up out of there, right? But I haven't hit the lottery yet. My numbers haven't come in yet. So I say all this to say, I'm not going to sit here and lie in front. Some of this stuff can be dry, it can be boring. But you know what's exciting about IT, or what can be potentially exciting about IT? Cashing them paychecks can be potentially exciting about IT, depending upon obviously how much money you're making, and then obviously how much disposable income you have after you cash your paycheck. That can be exciting. Because even though I may have worked some boring jobs, I know some people who might work some boring jobs, my overall lifestyle isn't boring. You know what I'm saying? I live a very good life. I'm not going to be one of these people coming on here showing you my cars and all this and all that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I have done that in the past, but whatever. But I'm just going to say, The work might not be the most exciting stuff. Like you just wake up in the morning and you can't wait to log into your computer. But when them paychecks hit that bank account, and after you don't pay out all your bills for the month, and you don't put some money to the side for rainy day funds, and now you're looking at, man, I got a lot of tricking money left over. I got a lot of money to go pop some bottles, trick on some females, trick on some tricks, do whatever I want to do. That's when stuff can get a little fun. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep it a buck. IT can be a little dry, but man, the paychecks make up for the difference. So yeah, oh yeah, I did show my Jeep. Yes, I do have a Jeep Wrangler. I mean, it's not brand new now. It's like 3 years old, but that's my baby. Thinking about upgrading it. I want to go get a Mercedes G-Wagon. That's what I really want, but I'm not ready to give up the Wrangler yet. But anyways, so I wanna do a reaction video. Oh man, we're doing reaction videos, Tech G. Apparently I am. So shout out to my man Whipping Bricks. Whipping Bricks, that's his name. That's his YouTube name. My man's name is Whipping Bricks. I wonder what Whipping Bricks does for a living. But my man Whipping Bricks sent me an email. Not once, but twice. I got your first email. I just hadn't had time to respond to it. But he sent me another one. Whipping Bricks is like, you're going to see this email today. And guess what? I saw it. And I was like, all right, I got some time. It's Martin Luther King Day. I ain't go to work today. I guess I got some time to talk about it. So Whipping Bricks, he wants me to respond to a video. He says he's he's about that stovetop cooking life. That's right. He in there whipping up pies. You know what I'm saying? Call him he in there chefing it up real good. We'll just leave it like that. But anyways, let's see who else is in here. Shout out to Matthias. My name is Matthias. I'm sure it's a very wholesome page. Oh, you talking about Whipping Bricks? I guess. Shout out to Whipping. I thought I saw Whipping Bricks in here. Nope, I was about to call him Whipping Bricks. His bricks standing on business. That's right. In the kitchen, whipping it up. What your man Future say? Whipping it up, chopping it up like karate. You just getting busy. Anyways, so we're here to talk about IT, not whipping bricks and chopping up stuff. So he wants me to do a review of this video by this dude. I'm not sure what's his brother's name. Let me get his brother. Let me put him on screen first. Hold on. I don't know. I ain't never heard of this brother. He goes by the name of Coding Phase. Coding Phase. All right. So Coding Phase had some comments about those of us working in cybersecurity, IT, or pretty much any job outside of coding. Now, give my disclaimer. I'm not a coder. I'm not a programmer. That's not what I do. All right. I posted in my community tab a video from a YouTuber named LS3. He is a coder. So it's a dude I interact with on YouTube quite often. He just started off his IT tech channel where he's into the whole programming and coding and all that. Like that's his lane. So anytime people ask me about coding, and look, that's not my lane. My lane is I mostly came up doing networking, dealing with routers and switches. Started off at the help desk, transitioned to a networking role, and I've actually taught IT. I taught it in the military. I used to work for a company where I used to help design the databases for the company. I wasn't a database developer, but I designed the information, the structures that the database developers would use to build for the databases. And, you know, like I said, I've taught IT. So I've got a wider range of experiences and some other stuff in between, but mostly help desk for a couple years and then mostly networking, like I say, dealing with routers and switches and all that stuff. That's mostly my background, right? Now, some people will be like, well, if your background is mostly networking, why do you come on here preaching cybersecurity? The reason why is because I want you guys to make money. That's the reason why. I want you guys to go out there and make some money. I'm not saying that you can't make money coming up the networking path, because when I came up in IT in the early 2000s, I got started in 2002. As a matter of fact, you can go watch my video on YouTube, or you can go to my website, Technology G, and you can click the About button, and I posted a video up there explaining my professional background, right? But anyways, when I was coming up in IT, networking was the thing. Getting your CCNA was like the gold standard, right? Then probably around before 2010-ish, around that time frame, that's when everything started getting really heavily my microphone still working? Oh, okay. That's when everything started getting leaning more towards cybersecurity and cloud type of stuff, right? And so fast forward to the present day, I don't really run around preaching and teaching everybody getting into networking, learning routers and switches, although I do teach it to students that, sign up for my courses and whatever. But I still try to steer people towards cybersecurity, because there's a lot of money to be made in cybersecurity. There's a overabundance of jobs out there in cybersecurity. And I mean, you can really get paid because of all the various threats and things that are going on in the digital world. In the digital world, you can really make some money doing cybersecurity and cloud development and all that stuff. And plus, another thing with networking, it can bleed over into cybersecurity. So just because you learn networking skills, that doesn't mean that stuff isn't transferable over into helping you be successful in the cybersecurity realm. So that's why my message, like if you see my little opening video, it says cybersecurity. The stuff that I teach can funnel you or feed you directly into eventually getting a cybersecurity role. Even though I came up from networking, but there's just more money to be made in cybersecurity. But regardless, the same things that I had to learn doing networking are the same things a lot of people learn if they decide to go into cybersecurity. So that's why I personally preach cybersecurity. But anyways, I'm gonna answer y'all's questions after I get through my little speech here. But anyways, my man's here whipping bricks. He wants me to review this video. All right, like I say, I don't know who this brother is. My first time seeing him. His name is Coding Phase, and Coding Phase had some interesting comments about cybersecurity. So we're gonna go ahead and check it out. See what we're here talking about. And obviously, I'm going to be stopping the video, giving my 2 cents, because you know how we have to do on the YouTubes, right? So let's get it.
Test automation is boring. Yes. That was enough. Talking about that, right? I had another conversation. Getting to talk to people, it's amazing, because sometimes the way how I think is completely different than a lot of people. I had another girl come in. We had a conversation this week, blah, blah, blah. And she's telling me about she wants to do cybersecurity. I'm sorry to say to you guys, anybody that's in cybersecurity or thinking about cybersecurity, that shit is boring. That shit is the most boring job you could think of, right? Anything that has to do with IT, DevOps, cybersecurity, that shit is boring. And you're always going to need a company to come and give you a check.
All right. So you heard him. He says IT, cybersecurity, DevOps, any of that stuff is pretty much boring. Now, like I just said in my opening monologue, I actually agree with them. I actually agree. See, the thing is, when it comes to cybersecurity, especially when you're dealing with a bunch of newbies, a lot of newbies think, put myself on the big screen here because I like to look at myself. Hold on. A lot of newbies into IT, they get their ideas about cybersecurity based off of what they see in TVs and movies, right? They might go watch what's a good IT cybersecurity movie? I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. I don't know. Anyways, they'll think of some IT movie or watch some IT movie where you got somebody climbing, rappelling from the rafters, doing backflips over laser beams so that they can go into the data center, secretly plug some stuff up, and put a network tap on some. Then they walk out in their suit and tie and they're back at the party like they're James Bond. Or they watch a movie of some hacker or some random IT person. They're sitting in this room with glowing LED lights all over the place, and they're just click clacking and typing away, yada yada yada, breaking into stuff in milliseconds. They think that's the life of the average IT person or the cybersecurity person. No, that's not the life of the average IT person. You know what the life of the average IT, I'm just going to say cybersecurity person or whatever. You know what the life of the average cybersecurity person is? You go to work, you log into your systems, you run your checks, put your reports together, go attend a stand-up meeting talking about whatever the heck happened on the network the night before, the shift before, and what all training that you got coming down. If you got to, do some type of company-wide training, got to do this, you got to do that. Go back to your desk. You got your systems up here on one monitor. You got your ticketing system over here. Another monitor, you got your SIEM system or your SIM system over here. Another monitor, you got some other system over here. You got Snort or something open over here. You got all these little systems. And then you got another system where you got Amazon, YouTube, Netflix, or whatever the heck it is that you're into looking at and surfing on the internet. Now, here's the thing. Out of all those monitors, which monitor do you think the average IT cybersecurity person is going to spend most of his or her time staring at? The majority of the time, they're going to be staring at the monitor that has YouTube videos on it. Or they're over there shopping on Amazon. Or they're over here looking at whatever the heck it is that they're looking at. Like that's just the life, right? Somebody said Mission Impossible, war games, all that stuff. Most people who work in those roles, you're not doing some Mission Impossible war games type of stuff where you're out there saving the world, trying to prevent somebody from North Korea from stealing the nuclear codes and all this crap. Like I said, I used to work at the NSA, the National Security Agency. That building stayed getting cyber attacks about 1,000 million times a day. Every day. It's a high value. It is. I was going to say it was. But it is a high value target building in America. The one that I worked at. I mean, there's like multiple ones. You got one up in DC and one in Augusta, Georgia. I worked at the one in Augusta, Georgia, which is on Fort Gordon, which is now named Fort Eisenhower. I think they changed the name of the base. We were like high value targets. And when I say we, I'm not just talking about the building. I'm even talking about the personnel that worked in the building. Like we would come out the building, we were always told to be on the lookout for people who are just randomly trying to become our friends because they're trying to befriend us so that they can try to, bribe us or try to get us to get some information, some top secret information and bring it about the building. Next thing you know, we be in handcuffs going to Fort Leavenworth somewhere. Like, I mean, that was a real thing. That was a real threat. But even when we was inside the building, and like I said, I'm not going to go into all the extreme details about what goes on in there. But even when I was inside the building, and I'm the IT person, one of the many IT people, we see these threats coming in all day long. And then when the threats come in, if the stuff ain't automated to deal with it, because we got a system in place that'll just knock it out or report it, whatever. We clack on a couple things, make sure the green lights make sure the red lights turn back to green or whatever the case may be. And guess what? I'm back to watching YouTube, baby. Now, back in the time when I was working there, World Star Hip Hop was the big website. YouTube was nowhere near as popular as World Star. I was back on World Star watching ratchet videos. That's what I was doing back in 2007-ish. Yeah, 2007, 2008 when I worked up in there. I worked there from 2007 to 2010. So I spent the whole good 3 years just, all right, something happened. Click. Let me do up a little report real quick. Boom. All right, let me get back to my World Star videos. Let me get back to these random cat videos on YouTube or whatever the heck it is I was looking at back in the day. Waiting for the clock to run out so I can go outside and breathe some fresh air, hop on my motorcycle and go home. You know what I'm saying? Like that was life. I wasn't in there doing some old sci-fi stuff with the neon lights everywhere, cracking codes and the president of the United States coming down because I saved the world type of stuff. I was doing some boring stuff, but the paychecks were cool. Now, even though I was in the Army at the time, I used to work with obviously a bunch of civilians as well. And, some of them made just about as much as me. Some of them made more because they were civilians and all that stuff. But overall, everybody was kind of bored. But when it was time to go cash paychecks, especially for the civilian contractors, a lot of them were living their best lives. Like, especially when I went overseas, when I got deployed to am I still there? Did I freeze up? Am I still there? Am I still streaming? We good? Somebody hit a one if we good out in these streets. Somebody let me know if we good. See it now. I got to do my janky IT skills. Give me a second. Let me go ahead and hit this button. Let me hit this button. All right, there we go. Boom! I just fixed the problem. So anyway, even when I was deployed to Afghanistan, now that was a little different. We had quote unquote fun. And you're like, what was the fun you had in Afghanistan? The fun was hoping I didn't get shot that day, hoping that when this whistle sound flew over my head, which was an RPG, hoping it didn't land and hit my damn work area or my sleeping quarters and blow me to smithereens. That was kind of fun. Fun in a weird PTSD type of way. But when all that stuff died down after the Taliban decided, all right, we're going to take a break from shooting at people and launching RPGs, I would go to my office, man. And guess what? Load up my systems, check what I got to check, do my reports, do my stand-up meetings, get my briefs, yada, yada, yada. And then guess what? I'm going into the back room and I'm cutting on the damn, because we had like a little break area with like a 50-inch flat screen back there. And guess what? It's video game time. We in there getting it. You know what I'm saying? Until waiting for something to break down. Like, that was life. And me and my civilian contractor buddies, we were cashing our checks, making it do what it do. But yes, the work was kind of boring. So like I said, I say all that to say, when people come into IT, newbies, they see these things on TV. Like, they'll watch these police shows, right? My wife watches this one show. I can't think of the name of it, but it's about some woman who got kidnapped, and somehow she managed to kidnap her kidnapper. And now she has this business where she goes around helping to find people who have been kidnapped, and she uses she uses the guy that she kidnapped, who kidnapped her as a kid, to help her crack these cases. But one of the guys on this woman's team is this young black dude who's the IT guy. And the IT guy, he just gets real busy with it. Every time they be like, hey, can you pull something up? He'll go to his computer. The next thing you know, bam. Yes, I got the secret codes. I got this, I got that in like 2 seconds. It's like, wow, that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? So people think that that's what IT is like. Now, I'm not saying that it's not like that, but for most people, that's not how it is. So yes, IT can be boring, but we got to stay focused here. What are we trying to do in IT? Most of us are trying to earn a lot of money so that we can finance and support our lifestyles, so we can go out there and buy up all the Jordan shoes, go on all the cruises, buy all the cars that our paychecks can afford, and live a comfortable life. To most of us, this is just a job. This is just a way to make ends meet. This is a guaranteed paycheck, so we could take that money and apply it towards other endeavors. Right? That's why a lot of us do this, or at least the people that I know. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm not one of these people that's in love with IT like that. I'm in love with the income earning potential. And yes, I am good at what I do, but it's not like I wake up every single day and I got IT on the brain. As soon as I wake up, I'm like, IT, cybersecurity, that's not me, man. Now, when the paychecks hit, it might be a little different. I'll be like, thank God for the IT paycheck. But anyways, let's get back to this video, man. See what your man's in here yapping about.
And I tried to explain it to this girl. I was like, yo, we talking about all of the stuff that's in the tech accelerator, breaking it down for her, chopping it down. I'm hitting her with the chop it down, you know what I mean? Chop it, you know what I mean? I chopped it down for her, explained it to her in layman's terms. I explained it to her in Google Gaga language, right? Very easy to understand. And then Shorty comes up with like, yo, you guys don't teach cybersecurity And I'm like, yo, didn't you go through the free training, ma? After we done did like a half an hour conversation talking about web development and the benefits that you get and all of this stuff. He's like, no, but I kind of went through it. And I'm like, the video is 11 minutes. It's free training. You can watch that shit anytime. It's 11 minutes. It breaks down what we do. He's like, yeah, but I got a little antsy. I just went in and signed up. And I was like, all right, this is where you fucked up at. So I'm like, I was like, yo, this is where you fucked up at. And I was like, yo, we don't do cybersecurity. That shit is boring, right? That's for people that's not creative. That's for people that is not really trying to do anything outside of the corporate world.
Mm.
And she's like, yeah, but someone told me about cybersecurity. I'm like, listen, this is not what we do. And I tell her straight out, we don't do cybersecurity, right? Cybersecurity is boring. Cybersecurity is for people that's just gonna stay in the corporate ladder, right? You're always gonna need a company to come in and give you a job. You're always gonna have to get certifications, right? And if that's something that you want to go on, you could go on, right?
All right. So your man's is saying that cybersecurity is boring. We agree on that. It can be boring. Like I say, I don't know of too many people that wake up in the morning and cybersecurity is what gets their blood flowing. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't know of anybody. If they are like that, they haven't expressed it to me. Or if you do find somebody that wakes up like that in their blood, they get this high off of going to work and doing some cybersecurity stuff. I can almost promise you that this is a person that doesn't really have a social life. They ain't got no man, they ain't got no woman, they ain't out there slapping skins, shaking sheets. They're just not out there just doing things. Now, I'm not saying that that's good. I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just telling you, I just don't know of anybody that gets overly excited about it outside of the income earning potential that you can make by doing it. Because here's the thing, when it comes to working a job or a career, you don't have to be in love with what you do in order to be good at it and try to maximize your earning potential, right? I think a lot of people seem to get that confused. Like whatever you do, if you find somebody that's doing a job and they're making a lot of money, I guess some people seem to think that these people are passionate about their job. That's not necessarily true. It just might mean that they're good at it to where they could command X amount of money for their salary, but that doesn't mean that they're in love with it. Like me, I'm not really in love with IT like that. If I had it my way, if I was able to go out there and make a bunch of money doing something that I love, I would be a photographer. One of those National Geographic, I'm in the jungles filming women with they breasts out type of photographer. You know what I'm saying? Like every time there's a ride, I love photography, right? That's a hobby of mine. But unfortunately, I never figured out how to make a bunch of money with it. So in the meanwhile, guess what? I figured out how to make some money with IT working in tech. So, and this pays the bills. This keeps the lifestyle flowing. This keeps my Jordan collection growing and growing, and all the other things I got to do with my wife and my children. That funds all that. But my other passion is I like taking pictures. I've been fascinated with photography since I was like 7 or 8 years old, but I was just never in a position, and I never figured out how to make money with that hobby. So it was just a hobby for me, right? But it doesn't make me money. So what I'm saying is, don't mistake that. Don't think that just because people make a lot of money doing something that they're passionate about it. No, they just discover I'm good at this. This can pay the bills and support my lifestyle, but that's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to do this because it makes me a lot of money. Now, he also said something about, let me see, what else he say? Hold on, I forgot.
This is not what we do. And I tell it straight out, we don't do cybersecurity, right? Cybersecurity is boring. Cybersecurity is for people that's just going to stay in the corporate ladder, right? You're always.
All right, so he's saying that cybersecurity is for people who are going to stay in the corporate ladder. Those who want to climb up, rise through the ranks, become management, become an executive level person or something like that. That's true, and that's not true. I mean, you have people that work in IT that have no real ambitions, or cybersecurity that have no real ambitions of becoming some type of executive, or even hell, even going to a management position. Matter of fact, I got my youngest brother is like that. My youngest brother, I don't know what he switched jobs recently, but I know when he was at his old job working in cybersecurity, like I say, he makes well over 100 racks. To my knowledge, he wasn't in a management position. And to my knowledge, he has no real desire to go to a management position because, for him, he was like, well, if I go back to college, get a degree, or I go get me like a PMP, project management certification or something like that, to where I can move up. He's like, that might only bump my income up like $20,000, $30,000. But he's like, shoot, I'm already making this without a college degree and just whatever skill sets and certifications that I have. It's like, I'm good. I got no real bills, although he has a brand new daughter now. But other than that, prior to his daughter coming into the world, he was just a single man making well over 100 racks a year, living his best life, doing what he wanted to do. So everybody doesn't necessarily have a desire to move up the corporate ladder that works in IT and cybersecurity. Now, there are those that do. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with that. And the reason why I'm saying this because I think in this video, this guy right here is preaching more so of people developing an entrepreneurial mindset, right? And I think he's going to say that in his dialogue about how he uses his particular skill sets in IT, where I think he's a coder or something like that. And he says in this video that he's managed to take those skill sets and create businesses of his own that generates him hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even more, based off of what he says in this video. Now, look, I'm not opposed to everybody being an entrepreneur, right? Or I'm not opposed to entrepreneurship, I should put it that way. But I also understand that everybody isn't an entrepreneur, right? I'm a halfway entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I'm an employee and I got a side business going on over here. I haven't fully just jumped all the way into being a full-blown entrepreneur. And the reason why is because everybody has this glorified fantasy about what an entrepreneur is. As a matter of fact, I was talking to, I got a video that I uploaded. It'll probably be posted in a couple of days where I was actually talking to one of my training students that's going through one of my courses. And we actually had these conversations about entrepreneurs. And one of the reasons he stated that I guess he has admiration for entrepreneurs is because they get to control their own schedule, right? People look at entrepreneurs, I'm the boss. I get to make my own schedule and do this, do that, and the third. But the reality is, when you're an entrepreneur, starting your own business, because you got to remember, most businesses are small business owners, right? Just because you're the boss, that doesn't mean that you can just automatically take time off and do what you want to do. Most so-called entrepreneurs who do it full time, they work longer and harder hours than employees, right? And then also, a lot of entrepreneurs in America, they don't make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like people who own small businesses, mom and pop shops and things of that nature, a lot of them only make about maybe $50,000, $60,000 a year after it's all said and done, when it's time for them to pay themselves, right? Everybody is not Mark Zuckerberg. Everybody is not Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, or whatever, P. Diddy or Dame Dash or whoever that's rich and famous that you can plug into that equation. Most business owners are small business owners that nobody has ever heard of outside of wherever they do business from. And most of them probably make on average about $50,000, $60,000 a year, right? You have a lot of employees that work in tech that make way more money than entrepreneurs. Now, once again, that's not to say that you shouldn't consider being one, because with entrepreneurship, obviously you're the boss, you own this thing, but you're also 100% responsible for whether or not this thing succeeds or fails, which means you can't really take time off. You got to go out there and do whatever you got to do to generate some sales, or else you're going to be out there on the streets doing the moonwalk, asking people for money. That's what's going to happen. As opposed to you being an employee, you could be a low paid employee, so-called mid-pay employee, or a high-paid employee, or whatever the case may be. But let's just talk about those of us who make 100,000 plus or whatever. You know, a tech person making a cybersecurity person, a person working in cybersecurity who makes over $100,000. A lot of them make more money than those who are business owners, right? That's just the way it is. Even though they're employees and they got to derive their paycheck from somebody else, oftentimes their paychecks are still bigger than those who own their own business. So there are pros and cons. I'm not opposed to either way. I'm actually in favor of you doing both. like I do. I work and I have my own little side business going on. But anyway, I think he's going to get to that point.
It's going to need a company to come in and give you a job. You're always going to have to get certifications, right? And if that's something that you want to go on, you could go on, right? I know a lot of people that have been going on the cybersecurity run and end up coming back to codingphase.com because that run, it didn't go as planned. It's not like what people tell you online, right? The same way how people come in and be like, well, you could work at Google tomorrow. And if you go through this boot camp. So sometimes these people have been brainwashed. They love that shit because there's a whole community on Instagram, right? Of like Instagrammers who do a whole bunch of bullshit.
I was thinking you were balling with your little CompTIA courses, sir. I don't know if that's a sneak diss or I don't really know how to interpret the tone of that comment. So am I balling off of selling my IT courses? If that means I'm able to do that as a full-time job, no, I'm not. But do I make a pretty little penny off of selling my IT courses? You damn right I do. Right? And I'm not here to flex and brag and stun on people, but the amount of money that I generate now is probably more money than a lot of people who watch my videos make. I'll just put it out there like that. But that's still not enough for me to just quit my job and do it full time. All right. So like I say, I don't know the overall tone, you know what I'm saying? Because you're over here talking about your little CompTIA courses. Those little CompTIA courses that I sell have helped plenty of people get certified. Plenty of them, right? Lots of people. Matter of fact, I just started keeping track of it not too long ago, so I can be like, yeah, I've helped X amount of people. JM, do you have any courses of your own that you offer and sell that have helped people get certified so that they can go out there and get an IT job? I mean, if you have, please enlighten me and let me know. But I just think it's a little weird. Like I say, maybe I'm reading into this too much, but it's just the interesting use of your words. You thought I was balling off of my little CompTIA courses. Well, my little CompTIA courses have helped quite a few people actually make six figures in IT. As a matter of fact, I got a former student of mine that I'm actually going to be calling tomorrow because I got to teach my class tomorrow night for my current students. And one of my students, he started off 2.5 years ago, making like $12 an hour working at the local grocery store. 2.5 years later, after learning these little CompTIA courses that I push and sell, he just got a job offer for like six figures to move him to Hawaii. All right. So I think my little CompTIA courses are actually helping people out, going from $12 an hour bagging up groceries to getting job offers for $100,000 in just 2.5 years. Now, if you got something that's comparable to what I do, where you can be like, hey, I put this information out here for free, or I package it up and sell it, and this is the results that come about of my courses that actually help people get into position, put more money in their pocket, become upward mobile, then by all means share your little courses. But the little courses that I share, and put up have been proven to put money in people's pockets by getting them jobs. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think my courses are little in the sense that I'm reading into how you're using it. But whatever, let's get to it.
right? And if that's something that you want to go on, you could go on, right? I know a lot of people that have been going on the cybersecurity run and end up coming back to codingphase.com because that run, it didn't go as planned. It's not like what people tell you online, right? The same way how people come in and be like, well, you could work at Google tomorrow, and if you go through this boot camp. So sometimes these people have been brainwashed. They love that shit because there's a whole community on Instagram, right? Of like Instagrammers who do a whole bunch of bullshit. It's same thing as TikTok, right? Especially in the Black and Latino community. There's a bunch of dudes where the big chains, the fucking Lamborghini. There's another one. Hey, I'm in Atlanta in my condo, and this and that. So they sell this mentality, this dream to these people, and they think that they're gonna be doing that. Mm-hmm. That they're going to be earning 200, 300, 400,000. And what these people don't really understand, the reason why these people's walking around with the big chains and the Lamborghini in the back, it's not from actual cybersecurity. It's from actually selling you the course and signing you up to a boot camp.
That is 100% correct. I 100% agree with that statement, right? You go on Instagram, TikTok these days, you have, there has to be a term for this. I'm gonna try to come up with a term if there already isn't one, but it's like an IT lifestyle trend on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Instagram and TikTok, of people showing off their extravagant lifestyles because they work at this tech company or they work in this tech position, and whatever the case may be. So he's absolutely correct. As a matter of fact, on my YouTube about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was on go look for the video that has the thumbnail that says $15,000 IT courses. And it's a video that it was a clip of a YouTuber named Before the Billions, who's an IT guy out of Atlanta. And I was on his show and we were talking about that very thing. When you guys watch these YouTube videos, pay attention to some of the commercials that come on before the video. You're going to see certain people up here promoting a lifestyle, right? They're in front of Lambos, these elaborate houses, private jets. I see it heavy on YouTube. I'm not going to say anybody's names. I'm pretty sure y'all all can readily identify one of the biggest perk people that might be out there doing this. But, it's a handful of them out there that do it. But I mostly see just one in particular that always floods my timeline feed. But they promote this lifestyle. Join my course. Course might be $6,000, $10,000, $15,000. Doesn't really give you any details about what is actually in the course that's going to help you land these ridiculously high-paying six-figure salary jobs, so that they can go out there, get the chains, the rings, the Lambos, the condos, yada, 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 right? I've been working in IT for 20 years, right? I don't know of too many people balling out of control living like that. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but most people that I know that are making ridiculous amounts of money in IT, they're doing what he just said. They're selling courses and selling other products. Now, obviously, I'm not opposed to selling courses and products. I sell courses and I sell products, right? But I think the difference is I've never come on here, and I don't have any intentions of doing this, of coming on here and trying to sell you this elaborate lifestyle. Meaning I'm showing you what my house looks like, where I live at in Florida, what I got, what I do, how I spend my money, yada, yada. First of all, that ain't none of y'all's damn business, right? But I don't come on here leading with my lifestyle of the monies that I make, whether it's through my job, through my side business, or a combination of two, or however else I derive income. Because the way I make money, I have multiple ways of making money, right? It ain't just YouTube and selling courses in my job. I got a variety of different streams of income that come in, as everybody should be trying to figure out how to do. Because in the year 2024, If you're just living off one stream of income, especially if that stream of income is tied to an employer, I think you're doing yourself a disservice, because if that employer ups and cuts you loose for whatever reason, what are you going to do to pay your bills? So you need to be coming up with multiple streams of income. So then in the event that you lose one, you ain't out there, you know what I'm saying? You ain't out there twerking at the stoplight asking for people to give you $1. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, the whole point of this, when I sell courses, I've always led with the results. You take my course, you're gonna pass this cert, assuming you do the things that you have to do. Because I can put out all the greatest information in the world, but if you don't study it, you're not gonna pass. And yes, there have been people who have paid me a lot of money, right? We're talking about lots and lots of money to learn from me. Matter of fact, so I'm not, like I said, I've had people pay me a few bands to teach them certain certifications, but some of them have chosen not to learn the information. Fortunately, none of them have come online and blasted me to make it seem like I'm some fraud or some fake, or I'm just out here scheming and hustling. Thank God that hasn't happened. And I don't predict it's going to happen, because all I got to do is go in and pull up the damn reports, be like, hey, you ain't logged in 6 damn months. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, the whole point is, I've never come on here preaching IT stuff about how you're going to go out there and you're going to be just living the most elaborate, luxurious lifestyle. I'll talk about how you can make 6 figures, but I also, even when I talk about 6 figures, I always try to tell you guys the way I teach it and how I've learned how to come into IT, which I think is the easiest way to get into tech. Most of y'all, 99% of y'all are not going to come into the door making 6 figures. You're going to have to build yourself up to that. But even with building yourself up to 6 figures, it's not going to take you 10, 15, 20 years to do it. You can build yourself up to 6 figures in like 3 to 5 years. Like I say, my one of my former students that I'm going to be speaking to tomorrow, he did just that. Like I say, he was making $12 an hour 2.5 years ago, working at a Publix grocery store, to where he's getting job offers now from companies wanting to pay him $100,000. And he's only been working in tech for like 2.5 years, about 2.5 years, coming up on 3 years. So that's extremely realistic. And that's what I've always told people. But you got these tech influencer lifestyle people that sell the lifestyle, the money, the clothes, the women, the trips, the whatever, to get people to sign up for their courses. And their courses be like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000. But when you go through and you check out their websites, try to read through the literature, like, well, what are they actually learning? You just get some vague general information. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong, because I haven't signed up for none of their courses. So I don't know what's going on up in there. But I'm just telling you, from somebody who's been working in tech for 20 years, I don't know if that's the best approach. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many of y'all are going to start from zero, no tech experience whatsoever, flipping burgers at McDonald's or whatever, to now you're making $150,000, $200,000 because you took this $10,000, $15,000 course because somebody enticed you with images of him or her posing with money phones and hopping off private jets and stuff like that. Like, I don't know if that's going to be a reality for most people. The reality for most people is somebody going to get certified and working your way up through the ranks. And then 3 to 5 years, if you're serious, you can start entertaining job offers for 6 figures. Like that's more of a reality than the previous thing.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you're part of the payment plan for them. You get what I'm saying? So yes, you could go in and get sold this dream, but the truth is, dudes doing cybersecurity don't live that lifestyle. They're not making no bread like that. It's not what they tell you on the internet. You might see 1 or 2 guys that, you know, they've been working for 5-10 years and now they're making over 100,000. That's not the norm. That's not the norm for most people. And on top of that, that lifestyle that you see on Instagram and TikTok and all this shit, it's all fake. It's all fake. Most of these fucking people, they're living off paycheck to paycheck. And they're just basically waiting until, you know, we sign you up to this fucking program and this and that. And, man, I'm, you know, like they go all out. And I'm like, yo, you want to go for something that's real and something that you could go in and you could see growth and you could really make some money on your own. Because the main reason why most of these people are living that certain lifestyle is because they are basically making bread. They're making bread outside of cybersecurity. It's not just cybersecurity that they're making bread. They're making bread outside of it. They are the brands. You get what I'm saying? It's like me. I could go in and sell myself like one of those fucking dudes, right? I could go and buy the Lamborghini, put that shit on a lease, pay $2,500 a month, right? Go in, go take a couple of shots in an Airbnb downtown, fucking here, right? And just act like, hey, this is the lifestyle. But that's not real. That's not real for the average person. That's why I'd rather go in and be honest with you and tell you, hey, man, look how good I live, right? I'm fucking earning over $1 million a year, right? Just on Neat's website, making 100,000, right? On my digital agency, over 100,000, right? Even if I go in and I disappear from the internet, I don't have no courses, I don't have no nothing, I'm still earning 200,000 plus on my own. And that's not from me working on a company. That's just me having this skill of web development that I can now make bread with. Most of these other branches, you have to go work at somewhere. And then they have to go in and cut the check for you.
So, all right. So he's saying that whatever he does, he takes his skill set and he's developed businesses and incomes to, I guess, where he makes, based off what he says, millions of dollars a year doing whatever he does. And like I say, I don't know who this dude is, and I have no reason to doubt him. I don't know. He might be legit. I don't know. I'm not about to go investigate this brother. I think the issue with that statement is assuming that everybody, like I said earlier, assuming that everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. You have a lot of people that just don't want to be an entrepreneur. They're cool with collecting their $50,000, $70,000, $100,000+ check from their employer because it's less headache being an entrepreneur, being an employee than it is being an entrepreneur. Now, me personally, I think people should be both until you get to a point where your business is making so much money that you have the option to quit your job if you decide you want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I personally feel and how I personally am trying to run my thing over here. So I really don't see this as an issue with people going to get certified, getting a job, and then them, quote unquote, depending upon the employer to pay them. Because even as an entrepreneur, guess what? You're depending upon the customers to pay you. So it's not like you just take your employee hat off one day and put your entrepreneur hat on one day, and all of a sudden money just starts rolling in, right? That's just not how it works. You still kind of have to abide by the same rules of the game to a certain extent that an employee has to. Meaning, if you want to maximize your earning potential as an employee, doing whatever it is that you do, you got to go out there and be the best at it so that the bosses can cut you the big fat checks. Same thing applies to being an entrepreneur. You want to go out there and be making hundreds of thousands of dollars into the millions of dollars a year as an entrepreneur, as a small business owner, whatever the case may be. Well, guess what? You got to be out there putting on for the people, putting up the best product, the best prices, the best services so that you can get that money flowing in. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not a clear cut and dry type of thing that some people try to make it seem like. It's either you're an entrepreneur or you're an employee, and one's better than the other and the other one sucks, yada, yada, yada. No, they both can be great and they both can suck. They both got their highs, they both got their lows. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, if you can find a way to blend the two, then go out there and do it. So those who work in tech, like him, I'm pretty sure he started off as an employee. Right? Don't know anything about him, but I'm assuming he started off as an employee out there programming, coding stuff up, doing whatever he was doing. And he probably got to a point where he realized, man, I can do this on my own. I can go out there and make money, get my own clients and start my own business and do this on my own. And it looked like he may have done that, which kudos to this dude if he did that. The same thing could be applied to those who work in IT cybersecurity. Those might be boring jobs or whatever, but you get in there, you learn the skill sets, learn whatever you got to learn, collect whatever paychecks you got to collect. My thing is, you should take those skill sets and figure out how can you turn it into a business. So let's just take me, for instance, right? My last 4.5 years in the Army, I was an IT teacher called an AIT instructor, advanced individual training. So basically, after troops graduate basic training, the troops who wanted to go into IT into the Army, they came to Dixon Hall at Fort Gordon, and I was one of the instructors there. I spent my last 4.5 years in the military after I got back from Afghanistan teaching these troops entry-level stuff in IT. Now, prior to that, I had about a decade's worth of experience working in various IT roles, starting off at the help desk. I used to work in a network operations center. I was a network administrator, system administrator, did this, I did that, service desk supervisor, all these different things, trained a whole bunch of people, yada, yada, yada. When I got to that teaching role, I had never taught before, where I'm actually standing in front of a class, explaining lectures, teaching this. I actually discovered I was very good at it, like extremely good at it, to the point where I had other teachers or other instructors who would come through who would sit in my class to learn how to explain this information to other people. Because in tech, you got people that can do, you got people that can teach, and then you got people that can do both. I'm kind of like in the middle where I can teach and do and teach. I think I'm in that unique position. And so I did that for 4.5 years, and just doing it, just kind of freestyling it. I was like, wow, I'm actually really good at it. I never actually thought about turning it into a business. Anyways, fast forward some years later, I got into this argument with somebody on YouTube, on one of these random YouTube panels I was on. And somebody tried to call me out, was like, you don't know what you're talking about in tech. I'm like, dude, I've done help train hundreds into the thousands of people how to get started in tech. And the person was like, prove it. I was like, how can I prove it? I mean, what you want me to do? Call these people up right now? So I was like, I'll do you one better. I'll start a YouTube channel and prove it that way. So anyways, I started the channel. It was just really, let me just explain this, because like I said, I was doing this just to throw it in somebody else's face. But then the channel currently grew to what it currently is now. And along this path, I've helped hundreds of people, made some pretty decent money doing so. But like I say, not enough to where I can quit my job. But anyways, I'm saying all to say, I took a skill set that I had learned working in tech and transformed it into a business. So now I'm in the IT teaching business, which is a legit business. It's an IT business because all we do is talk about IT and how to get started in tech. There's training businesses are real businesses, right? But my example is just one example. I've known people who worked in help desk, fixing computers, repairing iPhones, iPads, and they've taken that skill set and went out there and started their own damn business of fixing iPads, phones, or those little iFixit stores where you bring your iPhone up there because you cracked the screen. That's an IT business. The people in the back breaking your phone apart, putting the new screen on it with the digitizer and all that crap. They're doing IT stuff, stuff you learn about in the A+ certification. That's a real business. And some of them can make, depending upon how good they are, how much client and all this, how much clients they derive, they can make a lot of money doing that because everybody's forever dropping and breaking devices. And the public, the general public out there, they're terrified of computers. You know what I'm saying? Anything outside of them hitting the Google Chrome button to go watch YouTube and surf, get on Amazon, most people are terrified of what a computer can do. So that's where opportunity presents itself for you if you decide to become an entrepreneur where you can go make money. you could take your skill sets from that boring IT lane, that boring IT job that old buddy is talking about, and you can dip your toes into the entrepreneurial aspect to where you can go out there and make some money doing it if you want to. But if you don't want to, you just want to be a employee collecting checks because you're happy with your $100,000, your $75,000 a year job or whatever, there's nothing wrong with that either, because everybody is not made to be an entrepreneur. So, I think we got to kind of get off of this, this mentality of one group sucks over one group is worse than the other one, or you're not all that because you're collecting a check and I'm out here as an entrepreneur. It's like there are pros and cons to both. It really just boils down to your personality type and if an employee is better suited for you than being a so-called boss. Because when you become the so-called boss of your own business, guess what? To be a successful business owner, you're probably going to be working way harder than somebody who's an employee. And then most small business owners, which is, like I said, that's the majority of business owners in America, the majority of them make only about $50,000, $60,000 a year. That's right. McDowell's, baby. That's right. McDowell's is in the house. Greatest restaurant in the world. All right.
That's, for me, freedom is everything. And I'd rather go in and see the real shit than me seeing all this fake shit that people be selling online. It's the same thing. It's like when I see some of these dudes that be like, oh, I'm in Google and this and that. Motherfuckers is living with roommates. I'm an adult with roommates. I'm working at a top company in the world and I'm fucking living with fucking roommates. That's not the type of lifestyle I want to live. You get what I'm saying? And when they say jump, you got to jump because you don't got no other skills for you to make any bread.
Like I say, I think he's being a little bit disingenuous with that, because even business owners, when the customer says you got to jump too, or else you ain't gonna get paid. They're not going to deposit, any money into your bank account or buy your product or service if you don't quote unquote jump when they jump, right? And then he says something about people living with roommates and this, that, and the third. As a person starting your life out, you're a young person, and let's just say you got you a roommate. I don't necessarily think that's bad if you're young. You ain't got, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got no wife, husband, kids, or nothing like that. You want to cut down on the cost of living in some of these cities, and you got you a roommate. Even if you are making six figures, I don't necessarily view that as a bad thing. It really depends upon your overall financial goals, because getting into the adult world is expensive, right? Like I say, I deal with young people all the time, high school seniors who have this misconception about life. Like, as a matter of fact, my son is a senior in high school right now. They think that as soon as they turn 18, they get out their mom and daddy's house, that the world is just their oyster. It's like, it can be if you're making proper and sound financial decisions. But before we can start making proper and sound financial decisions, let's go through and analyze exactly how much does it cost for you to survive. And one of the things, I'm actually probably do this on my YouTube channel, when I show some of these young people, I normally go onto a whiteboard and I tell these kids, what do you think it costs to be an adult? I was like, how much is rent? You want a car? How much is gas going to cost you each month? How much is your car payment? How much is maintenance? How much is insurance? You like wearing Jordans? You like getting your hair done? How much money you plan on spending on that? So we'll go through this whole list, and I'll be like, at the end of the list, this is how much money you need to make every single month to support your lifestyle based off of what you told me. And then we'll go through a range of different jobs and how much they pay. And then we'll talk about the taxes that the government takes out. And then I'll show them the IT salaries. I'm like, you could be living like this, making this, working over here, doing the $12 an hour, or you can go get you an IT certification. 2 to 3 years, you making $100,000 before you're 21 years old. You could probably support your lifestyle of doing all this stuff over here that you say you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, I got to have these conversations with my own kid because they don't really understand the concept of money. My kid just wakes up, there's food in the house. There's electricity when he turns the light switch on. Water comes out the sink. You know, he goes to karate practice. He has no idea how much money I pay every single month for him to be trained in martial arts. He just knows, he just shows up, goes to practice 4 nights a week, does his thing, and comes home. Right? He has no concept of this stuff. And at his age, he doesn't necessarily need to have a concept of it. He just needs to focus on school, martial arts training, and trying to get into college, right? But when he becomes an adult, he's gonna have to start thinking about these things, right? Especially when he starts talking and stuff. Dad, I want to get my own place. Well, can you afford it? You know, Daddy ain't gonna pay for it. Like, can you afford it? Dad, I want to get a car. Well, have you been saving up any money? Let's figure out how we're gonna finance this car, son. Like, you know, grown-up stuff. This is part of being a grown-up. But anyways, kind of went off the topic a little bit, but you know, him saying that people living together, yada, yada, yada. Like I say, I think that's really, like I say, as a young person starting off, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because even with my son, even if he does go to college, all right, especially if it's local to where I'm at, he'll probably be living in my house. Or even if he goes to college away to another city or something like that, or out of state, if he wants to come back to Florida and start his life over, he's like, Dad, I'm broke. He'll probably be moving back into my house. And I wouldn't have an issue with that as long as he got a job. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends.
You get what I'm saying? But yeah, cybersecurity sucks. That shit garbage. I ain't touching that shit with a fucking with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't touch that shit. All that IT shit is garbage. And no disrespect for the people that do it, but I'm telling you, like, you have to work for somebody else for the rest of your life. And that's the biggest problem with cybersecurity and IT. It's like, it's jobs that you're always going to have to work for someone else. If you
is that really a bad thing? I don't know if that's really a bad thing, because there are always companies that are out there always paying money. Like shout out to Professor Black Ops. He's up in here somewhere. There he is. Like, we've talked about this on past live streams. There are like damn near 1 million unfilled cybersecurity roles. If you ain't happy with one over here, you can always go find you another job over here, paying more money, or, you know, better amenities, better benefits, or whatever the case may be. Working for other people isn't a bad thing. It's not a death sentence, especially if you're making a lot of money. And like I say, everybody isn't built to be an entrepreneur. And another thing with working with, let's just say you're working in cybersecurity and you got a salary of $125,000, $130,000 a year. And you don't have any real major outstanding bills and debts that you owe, right? You got disposable income. You can always take your disposable income and go invest it into real estate, invest it into the stock market. Maybe start selling something off of one of these little Amazon store websites or something like there's other things that you can do to where you can derive other streams of income off of your main income without you having to jump head first and be a full-blown entrepreneur, to where now you don't know where your income is going to come from. Because let's just take me, for instance. My job, I know how much I'm going to make every single month, like clockwork, right? I can plan my entire life around that paycheck, how much money I get to allocate towards bills, how much I allocate towards savings, investments, retirements, and how much disposable income. That money comes in like clockwork, rain, sleet, snow, whatever. If I quit my job today and decided we're going to go full-blown tech G, I'm selling nothing but IT courses, I might be at risk of being homeless some months. Because with selling courses, or just me being having a business, depending upon the time of the year, what's going on, my bank, I might get a whole bunch of sales. And then depending upon certain times of the year, the sales might kind of dry up because everybody ain't got money to go buy an IT course. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are just things people have to think about when you're putting up this argument for whether or not you should be a full-blown entrepreneur or be a full-blown employee. At least with the employee status, assuming you don't get fired or nothing like that, and you got a pretty decent income and, not any crazy outrageous bills to where you're living paycheck to paycheck, how much money you're working with, so you can go through and properly allocate and divide that money for specific uses. As a full-blown entrepreneur, even if you are the greatest entrepreneur out there, there is no guarantee that you're always going to be bringing in. Let's just say you're bringing in $50,000 for the first quarter of 2024, and then the next quarter, 2024, your income might drop down to 10,000. You see what I'm saying? Like, that stuff always fluctuates. So I don't, like I said, I just don't like this argument that you got to be one or the other. I think the best thing is to be both if you're built for that, if your mentality is for that. But if your mentality is for, I'm just cool with being an employee, I'd rather just invest my money in a real estate, play the stock market, get me some Bitcoin, be a silent investor in somebody else's business and derive my extra incomes that way. That's totally cool. That's totally fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand this need for trying to pit one of, trying to make it seem like one is less than the other. It's like, no, there are plenty of ways to get money in tech, right? Where you can use your incomes and do other things with your money, aside from you just being a full-blown business owner.
You're looking for independence and having skills that you could build shit on your own, you have to go for development. Doesn't matter if it's game development, doesn't matter if it's mobile app development, software engineering, embedded applications, web development, whatever it is, anything that you actually building something yourself, that's what you want to go for if you want to have freedom at some point. Everything else is like you got to be sucking on the fucking breast of whatever corporation. And then once they take that tit away from your mouth, it's a wrap. Now you out here like, where's my milk? Where's my milk? You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be one of those fucking people, you know? No shots fired. I'm just saying overall, just, I don't know, like that whole IT cybersecurity, all that shit is just too fucking, whenever I see anybody over here where like, I got the Lamborghini, and it's like, it just doesn't make sense because we know how much that shit pays, right? And we know like the average person can't buy that, right? On a fucking salary. If you're, let's keep it a buck. Let's say you earn like $120,000, right? Let's say you earn $120,000, right? You go in and you say, well, I got $120,000. Like, let's say that's like average $10,000 a month. Come in, you cut it down for fucking, cut it down to, after taxes, right? You cut it down after taxes and you say, well, how much is that? So let's say that person has like $8,000, right? Living in a condo for, $3,500 a month, right? So, okay, cool. So now we're down to $5,000. When you go outside and you get to buy food, shit to eat and stuff like that, automatically you're spending $2,000, right? Now you're spending $2,500 on a fucking Lamborghini, right? What you got in your pocket? $500, $1,000 left? You get what I'm saying? Where the math doesn't add up, right? So, and that's at a $120,000 job. So sometimes when you see all these people fucking selling this type of lifestyle, I'm like, this shit don't add up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I got bread and I know how much I spent, and I'm like, yo, this shit don't add up for you to be able to spend that type of bread. You just living off paycheck to paycheck to look the part, right? To look like you got bread, but you don't really got bread, So that's the shit that's a little bit finicky, But people get sold in that dream. And I was like, well, I was telling this girl, I was like, oh, listen, you want to do cybersecurity? They got you already, ma? Go ahead, go for it. That's not what I do. You know what I mean? We don't sell dreams. I want to give you some real results. All right.
All right. So I think that's the end of our video. The last part I do agree with. Like I say, he was mostly talking about people who are selling the lifestyle, but they're deriving most of their money off of the courses. But they're convincing people to sign up for their courses, thinking that these people are going to be earning that type of money and living that type of lifestyle by getting the job, but not telling them the reason that they're so-called living it or faking it till they make it is because they're selling courses. But like I say, I sell courses too, but I don't promise y'all anything, right? Now, I think I explicitly tell y'all that. I tell most of y'all, you come out here, learn from me. This is probably where you're going to be starting off, but this is where you can potentially end up. But that depends upon you. and if you're going to put in the necessary work to get from point A to point B and so on and so forth. All right. So that's that. Shout out to Whipping Bricks, wherever he's at, if he's still up in here, for sending me this video. All right, let's get to y'all's comments real quick. Let's see. Tech G, are you reading my mind? You always post a video about whatever I'm contemplating in the IT world. That's because I have on my McDowell's hat, man. McDowell's gives me mind reading abilities. That's what the M stands for, man. I'm Tech G, baby. To be honest, I find coding boring. Just depends on the person, I guess. Yeah, that's another thing. Coding can be boring. Like let me see, 1998 at Tuskegee University, I was taking a C++ class, a computer science class. I think I was learning C++. You want to talk about somebody being bored out of their mind. I was like, people actually get paid to sit here and do this all day? Like, there's no way in hell. So what ended up happening with me? There was like 2 or 3 cute girls in my class, and I started flirting with them. And then eventually I ended up dropping the class because I couldn't take it no more. But some lanes in tech just aren't interesting, man, to some people, right? Some people love coding. Some people love networking, cybersecurity. It just depends on what interests you. And coding, programming, that just was one of those lanes that I was like, I'm cool. I'm good on that. I don't want to do this. This isn't what I want to do. Let's see. I want to pass my ITF. Anybody know how many questions it is? I believe there's 60 questions. Is it 60 or is it 75? Let me look it up. I'm not sure. Hold on. CompTIA ITF. So on the CompTIA ITF, if you go to, y'all can't see my screen. Hold on. Let me share my screen. If you go to, here we go. Let's do a Google search, CompTIA ITF. So there are 75 questions there. So I had the numbers backwards. You got 75 questions, and you got 60 minutes to answer all 75 questions. All right. So that's what you're working with the ITF. Let's see. Shout out to Sonic. I appreciate you saying that. I feel guilty that I'm not into IT as much as I should be. There's always time to get into it, man. I'm interested in management. I'm interested in management either because I have a hard time managing. I'm not interested in management because I have a hard time managing myself and my work. I can't do that and make sure folks below me get stuff done too. It's a lot to handle. Yeah, that's another thing. We used to see this a lot when I was in the military. You had a lot of people that didn't want to get promoted to the rank of E5 or above. A lot of people, they just wanted to hang out in the ranks of E1 through E4. That's your junior enlisted, because they didn't want the responsibility. Even though they knew they would get more money, they didn't want the responsibility of being in charge of somebody. Everybody's not made for management positions. Everybody's not made to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not made to be a leader. Everybody's not made to be a manager. Some people are just followers. Some people are just good at doing 1 or 2 tasks, and that's it. Like everybody doesn't have to be everything. You know what I'm saying? And even those people who aren't managers and they're just good at doing 1 or 2 things, there are still opportunities for you to excel and make a lot of money, depending upon, obviously your personality type and all the stuff that goes on with that. So, some of these social media influencers, and no shade to old buddy, but everybody, we've all been conditioned to thinking that we all have to be the man. We all got to be the top dog. We all got to be the top G. Ain't that what Andrew Tate was saying? We all got to be the boss, the manager. Everybody ain't made for that. Not only if you're made for that, but some people, they just don't like that. Like I've been in leadership positions. I don't necessarily like leadership positions for the same reasons. I don't like really having to manage people and do evaluation reports on them. I didn't really like that when I was in the Army, but I did it anyway because I knew I could do it. But it wasn't something that I was just overly ecstatic about. Like, I'm here, Sergeant Tech G on the scene, bow down and give me my, respect my authority type of stuff. Me personally, I'm one of them people. I like to be alone when it's time for me to do work. I don't really like to be bothered. I just like to get my assignment or my task, leave me the hell alone, and let me do my thing and produce the results that you think I should be producing, or produce them at a higher level than what you think I should be producing, and give me my damn paycheck. Like that's my ideal way of doing things. But it is what it is. I went to IT because there's so much you can do without going into management. That is true. That is exactly true. Bro, I honestly thought it was an interesting topic. Oh, this is Whipping Bricks. This is the guy who sent this in. Whipping Bricks. Bro, I honestly thought it was an interesting topic. I have interests in web development, software engineering, and cybersecurity. I was just curious, why would he say it's boring? Well, here's the thing. I believe he mentioned in that clip he sells courses too, right? Either he sells courses or he pushes people towards some type of course where he might be getting an affiliate link. So here's the thing. Anytime you hear a YouTuber come on YouTube and they say, this is boring over here, this is boring, chances are this YouTuber or this influencer is trying to steer you into something that they have, that they're getting compensated for, whether it's their own course or they're getting some type of referral payments off of redirecting you towards another course. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you got to be able to pick up this stuff, right? You can't just run off of, oh, he just said this is boring. I promise you. Matter of fact, let me click on this video right now and let me just go read the video description and let me see if there's anything up in here. All right, here we go right here. So here, let me put my screen share back on. So I promise you, this is the reason why he's saying it's boring. And shout out to this dude. This ain't no shade, but let's just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Let's just keep it a buck. All right, let me make the screen bigger so y'all can see it. Uh-oh, did I just lose it? Where'd it go? Crap. I think I made it too big. All right, here we go. So this is the video that we just got finished watching. Here's the first thing. By the way, we're starting our New Year's sale, 30% off. Use this link to apply for the coupon code. So let's click on the link and see where it takes us. Oh, my bad. I got to share the screen. How do I share it? Crap. There's got to be a way I can keep sharing without having to do this crap. All right, hold up. All right. So when we click on the link, we land right here, right? Coding phase. Learning to code has never been easier. Start now. All right. So it's coding courses. Nothing wrong with that. That's what he should be doing. But I'm just telling you this because chances are your man's is selling a course too. All right. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not opposed to it. I sell courses, but I just want y'all to be honest. When you hear an influencer, somebody on social media who was telling you that this profession is boring or this lane is boring or they're going in on somebody else who's doing something else, 99% of the time that influencer is saying that to get you to buy their stuff, invest into their stuff, because that's how they make money. That's how we make money, some of us. Just keep it a buck. So that's probably why they're saying it. I'm chilling, man. Just finished my workout. Now I'm about to get back on A+ and test out. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sharon. It says, newbie here, just stumbled upon your channel, and I as well appreciate your transparency. I'm currently looking into getting to cybersecurity, but now you have me rethinking this. I guess you have to elaborate on what you're rethinking. So here's the thing, Sharon. I always tell people, if you're going to go into tech, pick a lane in tech that you think you're interested in, right? Now, obviously, Cybersecurity is a big buzzword. Everybody says it's cybersecurity, cybersecurity. On my channel, the Tech G channel. So let me go ahead and get my self-promotion on, because I'm all about self-promotion over here. On the Tech, where's my channel? On the Tech G YouTube channel. All right, let me share my screen here. I got to get me one of those little Stream Deck things so I can start sharing stuff better. But on the Tech, the world's greatest YouTube channel, all I do is talk about entry-level certifications, right? Excuse me. IT fundamentals, that's free. You can watch that whole course on YouTube for free. A+, Network Plus, Security Plus. That's the foundational stuff that I preach and teach. All that stuff can pretty much lead you into any direction or any career in IT that you want to go, for the most part. That's what I teach, right? I just teach people the fundamentals. What's a computer? How do they communicate? How do you protect them? And then from there, you kind of figure out, oh, I want to go cybersecurity. I want to go networking. I want to go cloud. I want to go do this. I want to go do that. You kind of figure it out on your own. Now, most people just come into cybersecurity because they see a bunch of people online making videos talking about how you can make $100,000 a year. And people are just like, ooh, 100,000. So you was out there, like I say, working at the gas station selling lottery tickets 2 days ago. And you think you take this course, you're gonna be making $100,000. It's not necessarily how it works, but that's how people sell it. Now, you can make 100 racks, and it's not going to take you 10, 15 years to do it. You can do it in like 3 to 5 years. I'm just one of the people, I just try to be honest with the folks and be like, hey, you're probably not, your first job probably at the door is not going to be 100,000. You're going to have to get your experience up, might have to throw in a couple certifications, but eventually the $100,000 a year offers will come. Right? You're gonna have to build yourself up. All right. So hopefully I didn't discourage you, but you need to I think you just need to go out there and figure out what you think you might want to do in tech, get your research on. But like I said, go sub to my channel. Like I said, we cover the ground basis, and then from there you kind of figure out where you want to go. So we already covered this comment. Let's see. I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I want to work a W-2 job and have side income coming in with rentals. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's not made to be a full-blown entrepreneur. Everybody's not made to be a side business entrepreneur like I am. Some of you can take your income from your job, you know, like I say, assuming you make a pretty decent income and you don't have any crazy, outrageous bills that just never go away. Some of y'all might have disposable income where you can take it and invest it into rentals and make money off that. You can take it and invest it into somebody else's business that's getting started and be like a silent business partner. You can take it and invest into the stock market, Bitcoin. You know, there's just so many things you can do where you can derive multiple streams of income that doesn't necessarily require you to become a full-blown entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? It's just really a matter of what works best for you. And don't let people shame you because you have a W-2. Like I say, there are probably way more W-2 employees out there making more money than full-blown entrepreneurs. The only thing that the entrepreneur has over the W-2 employee is they can say, I'm the boss. But what does that really mean in the context of being a business owner if your business isn't making hundreds into the millions of dollars a year? Because, you know, people like to get online. Oh, I got an LLC. I'm a boss. They ain't even got one employee. So reality is, here's the reality. Most people who talk like that, all they have done is created a job for themselves. Like there's a difference between being, this is how I see it. There's a difference between being a business owner and then somebody who has created a job for themselves, right? A business owner in my eyes, as far as I see it, this is somebody who actually has employees that he has to pay, that are on the payroll, that work for him full time. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody who has their own business, but they're the only employee, you've just created a job for yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that either, because you can make a lot of money doing that. But I just think we have to be clear about these terms, because with the person who created a job for themselves, guess what? You're probably going to be working way harder than you were working for somebody who you were an employee of. Because now, like I say, you can go to work as an employee, clock in, do your 8 hours, spend about 2 hours BSing, you know what I'm saying? Hanging out at the water cooler, taking extra long breaks and all that crap. And you're still getting paid what you're getting paid. You can't do that as a person who's created a job for themselves. You got to be hopping and popping, working and working, because your income is 100% dependent upon your actions. So yeah, you control your time, you're the boss, but what happens if can you afford to take a week off from work and go on a cruise? I can, as a W-2 employee, I can take a week or two off from my job, put my time in, my PTO in, and hop my ass on a cruise ship and be in the Caribbean, sipping Bahama Mamas. The person who created a job for themselves, can you do that? A lot of small business owners, i.e. those who have created jobs for themselves, they're not in a financial position to do that, where they have to work 24, damn near 24, 365, because they take 1 or 2 days off. They ain't got no sales coming in. That's just the reality for most people. But I'm not saying that either one is better or worse than the other. I'm just saying I'm not a fan of the shaming of either one. I think employees are good for certain people. Entrepreneurship is good for certain people. And then there are certain people that blend the two together. I'm one of the people that like to blend the two together. But even if you're an employee, there are ways you can derive additional incomes that doesn't necessarily require you to be an entrepreneur. That's all I'm saying. That's right. My check is not boring. That's another thing. IT, cybersecurity, like I say, when you go to your job, chances are you're going to be going into a building. If you work in a network operations center or a security operations center, you're going to be going into a building where you got to be badged in or punch a code into the door, get into the room. There's going to be a couple cubicles in there. There's going to be some 60-inch, 70-inch screen monitors hanging on the wall somewhere, looking at whatever the hell it is y'all are looking at. You're going to have to open up your computer, have a couple systems up, a ticketing system for whatever tickets come in at your level that you got to deal with, your SIEM system, your security information event management system, whatever the hell it is y'all are using. Then you're probably going to have another monitor up where you're surfing the internet, doing some BS, watching YouTube videos or something like that. You're going to be sitting at your desk, sitting around waiting for an alert to come in. After you do all your reports, do all your checks, your hourly checks, however long you got to do your checks, do your meetings, you'll be sitting around, man. Yeah, that stuff can be a very dry and boring. But like my man PBO says, what them paychecks looking like though? When it's time to go cash them paychecks, what they looking like though? Because you could be making $12 an hour working at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Bagging up people's stuff, chasing people in the parking lot who are trying to steal some stuff, getting into fights. That might be exciting to you. Every time I watch one of them Walmart videos where people get into a fight and stuff, I'd be like, man, that was exciting to watch. I don't necessarily think I want to be working there doing that. And I'm pretty sure their paychecks, no shade to people who work at Walmart, because you got to do what you got to do. But I'm pretty sure those that are in those Walmart videos that we see, I'm pretty sure, they paychecks ain't hitting like somebody who, like a PBO, what he can go do with his paychecks, what I can go do with mine. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, the job might be boring. You don't have to have an exciting job to make a lot of money. You just need to get a job that you're good at, because you're good at that skill set and people are going to pay you a lot of money to do it. That's what you should be doing. Now, if you can find a way to blend something you're you're passionate about, and you've mastered it and can make and get people to pay you a lot of money to do it, then more power to you. But most people can't do that. You got professional athletes, they can do it. They've been playing sports since they were like 5 years old. Now they're in the NBA, in the NFL, doing something that they love, making a lot of money and working real hard and living out their fantasy. I know a couple of people that went to the pros, right? That did just that. The majority of us, we gotta pick and choose. Like, what are we gonna do here? So we got three things to pick from. We got pursuing our passion, learning a skill set, / making money. You know what I'm saying? We got to figure out a way to blend at least two of those together to get it booming in life. And most of us, we're going to have to pick something that we've got a skill set in that makes us a lot of money, but it's not necessarily our passion. Because oftentimes our passion, what we're interested in doing, for most of us, it doesn't pay a lot of money, or we haven't figured out how to make a lot of money doing it. And we ain't got the time to trying to figure out how to make a lot of money doing it. But we know we learned this right here, this so-called boring skill set over here. We know this boring skill set will put some money in our pocket damn near immediately. Right? So that's just kind of how it works in the real world and the adult world. You understand what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Shout out to Cloud with TJ. Them cloud engineer checks is never born. I bet you they are never born. That's right. Thank you. Your teaching style helped you pass. Shout out to you. Do you still do live classes, or are you working on changing it up? So I'm changing it up. So I was doing live classes, live instruction. There's some issues that go on with that method of teaching. Not really from my end, but there's part of it is my fault, but whatever. I'm redoing how I'm gonna change it up. That's why I haven't been promoting running a boot camp, running this, running that. I mean, I'm doing one right now. I'm finishing it off for the students that already signed up. But moving forward, we're going to be changing that up, because I'm constantly trying to not reinvent the wheel, but make adjustments to how I can make this better and make it more fluid and just a better overall learning experience for people who choose to give me some money so I can teach them how the necessary stuff that they need to learn so they can get these certifications and, hopefully go out there and get them a decent job. So I'm going to be changing it up. Like I say, I'm working on it now. And once I finish it up, then I'll come on here and give my speech, or I'll put it on my website. And then, for those of y'all who are interested, we'll rock out from there. But remember, I'm just a one-man band. I don't have any help doing this, right? It's just me. I don't have any coworkers helping me with this. I don't have any contractors. It's just me. I go to work. I turn into an Uber for my kids when I'm running them back and forth with their activities. Then I got to go tend to, hanging out with the wife, doing all the things, we got to do as a married couple and all that stuff. And then after that, whatever time I have left over is the time that I can dedicate towards working on my course. And those courses take a lot of damn time, especially when you're a solo dolo individual doing this. So that's why it takes me forever, because I don't have a team. And I've actually offered to pay people to join my team that work in IT, that are good at it, but they're scared to do it. And I'm not saying that they're scared because there's some little scary cats. It's because they're just good at doing it. They don't know how to teach it. You know what I'm saying? Like I got take my youngest brother. My youngest brother makes a gang of cheese working in cybersecurity with no college degree. He is good at doing it. If I told him to sit down and go teach an A+ class, my brother be in there twerking and shaking, about to pass out, like he wouldn't know what the hell to do. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't know where to start, what to do. Even though he knows how to do it, he just don't know how to make it make sense for somebody else. That's like a whole other skill set that people have to learn. And so far, I haven't been able to find anybody to join the team. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not made to be on the team, man. Because I don't want somebody getting on the team, whether they work for me or as a contractor or something like that, and they can't properly convey the information and explain it in a manner so that you can go out there and be successful. Because they mess around and say something crazy or don't explain it right, and then you run with it and then use that information and it doesn't work in your favor, then you're gonna come back and blame me. And I'll be like, I ain't say that. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to go through all that. I got to start dropping videos talking about why I didn't do this. So right now it's just me, man. So that's why it takes me forever. Everyone has a course where you go from broke to rich in 90 days by taking these 4 cents. Yeah, everybody got a course. And look, I'm not opposed to people having courses. I just think we've hit this point with course creation where people are selling lifestyles of what they want people to think that they can achieve by taking this course, but they're not really disclosing that the lifestyle that they're advertising is because the person advertising it is living that lifestyle because they're selling the courses. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they're being as upfront with that information as they probably should. It's borderline marketing deception to a certain extent, in my opinion. All right. That's just my opinion. All right. Yeah. Techfluencers. That's what they call, I guess. All right. Also, they're working multiple jobs too, or they may have many skills and grinding to get to that high payroll. So I know of a guy in tech right now. I don't know him, but I know him through YouTube. I'll put it that way. Sometimes this person will pop up in random YouTube live streams that I watch. And one of the things this person likes to say is how he makes $50,000 to $60,000 a month working in IT. And he'll get the crowd going. Ooh, this man making $50,000 a month. Tech G, you suck. You ain't making $50,000 a month. Then this guy, he'll come on here and he'll say something like, CompTIA certifications suck. You need to be doing this over here because I'm making $50,000 a month. Like, he'd be on some crap like that, like on some super elitist type of crap. And everybody's like fascinated with the money. $50,000 a month. Ooh, that's $600,000 a year. Well, when you ask him, well, how are you able to make that? Like, what are you doing to make $600,000 a year? Turns out, old buddy works like 4 or 5 jobs. All he does is work all day. He has 4 or 5 contract jobs that he's doing. One contract might pay 100, another pays 100, another pays 100. And that's all he does is sit in front of computer screens all day long. Right? Now, I don't know about y'all, but I don't want to be sitting in front of computer screens all day long. I don't want to be working for 2, 3, 4, 5 different I don't want to work for more than one company at a time. You understand what I'm saying? I just want to work for one company, make some decent money, take my money, pay my bills, live my lifestyle, run my side business, and have my damn weekends off and my vacation time and all that crap off, right? That's what I want to do. You understand what I'm saying? But you had to damn near drag that up out of him for him to finally admit the reason why he's making $50,000 a month is because he's working 5 or 6 damn jobs at the same damn time. It's like, bro, who wants to do that? Now, hey, if that's what he wants to do, more power to him, and it appears that it's working for him. But that's not how I want my lifestyle built. I don't want to be making $500,000 because I'm working 5 different jobs paying $100,000 a year. I'd rather just have one job. Let's just say my one job pays me $200,000 a year. I'll be cool with that. Or let's just say I got a job paying me $100,000, but then I got my side business making me another $50,000 to $75,000 to $100,000. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy out here with some of these people, man. But more power to them, though. I'm not going to say, oh, buddy is a scammer. All right, I'm not going to say people are scamming. I'm going to say they're hustling. I think there's a difference between hustling and scamming. I'm not going to say people are scamming. Shout out to Zakiba. Yeah, shout out to PBO. He's working on his GRC course, Governance, Risk, and Compliance course. So if y'all are into the cybersecurity thing, matter of fact, he's the person that y'all should probably go holler at the most when it comes to cybersecurity, because that's what he is deep off into the cybersecurity trenches, way more than I ever was. So that's, like I say, my lane, my specialty. I came up through the networking path. Started off help desk, shifted to networking because that was what that was the hotness back in the early 2000s. But he's more the cybersecurity dude. That's been his lane since forever. But I still preach. I still preach and teach that people should go into cybersecurity more so than networking. I was going to join Simone B's course that get you into cybersecurity and get you a government job or remote overseas. Yeah, I don't know who she is. Matter of fact, well, let me back that up. So when I go check my YouTube analytics, there's a section in there that tells you the channels that your audience watches, and hers pops up in mine. I've never actually watched any of her stuff, but if she has legit stuff that can help you out and you want to rock out with her, hey, handle your business. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. I'm not one of these people that be like, you should only invest in me and learn from me. No, I'm one of these people. It's your money. You need to put your money with what is best for you based off of your research. If you think Tech G is the best option, or some other YouTuber with a course is the best option, or you think community college, tech college, or university is the best option for you, at the end of the day, it is your money. You need to make the best decision for how you're going to allocate your money to get your tech education to help you get certified or do or learn whatever skill set that you're learning, because it's your money. And also, if let's just say me and this Simone person, we got the same course or something like that, right? Some of y'all might prefer my personality over hers or vice versa. So that's another thing you got to factor in, because a lot of us, we all teach a lot of the same information, you know, especially those of us who teach like the entry level stuff or whatever. And even when you start getting to the higher level search, the information is the same. Sometimes it just boils down to whose personality do you rock with? Like, matter of fact, or it can even boil down to a race thing. I had somebody recently tell me they rock with me because they see another person of color doing this. Now, there's a certain YouTuber on YouTube with damn near 1 million subscribers that a lot of his audience discovers me after they discover him, and then they come over to me and they tell me this. But the ones that specifically tell me, oh, it's because, you know, you're a black person, even though I'm mixed, or you're a mixed person, you're a black person, you're a light-skinned person. Oh, I thought you was Hispanic, man. That's why. They'll come over here and tell me this stuff because they want to learn it from somebody else that looks like them or has their cultural upbringing and background. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. My thing is, it's your money. You have to decide how you're going to spend it if it requires you to spend it, and who you want to spend it with. I prefer you spend it with me. I prefer you give me the money. But if you don't want to give me the money, then give it to somebody else because you feel they're a better fit. And I don't have an issue with it at all. But at least think about me. All right. Am I passionate about drones? Not really. You know, I want to get one. I want to get one of those fancy, what do you call them? DJI, what do you know, them fancy drones. I want to go get one of them. I just haven't convinced myself to buy the money to go get one yet. But I would like to get into that. I got a neighbor in my neighborhood. He always flies his drones around, which I don't like because he flies it over my house sometimes. I don't like that. But anyways, after he flies it over the house, he'll take these pictures of our neighborhood. And man, the aerial shots of my neighborhood be like amazing. You look at my neighborhood from an aerial viewpoint, but I live in a fly ass spot. I'd be like, damn, you would think like, wow, this joker is really living, which, you know, whatever. But I just don't like the fact that he flies it over my damn. Like, why don't you just fly like 10, 20 feet to the left? Like, why does it have to fly right over my property? I don't like that. Yeah, I'm not going to drop any names. Like I say, you know, y'all know who I'm talking about. And shout out to that dude if he's making money. But, you know, I think he could be a little bit more honest about how he's selling, what he's selling. I think the difference is you still work in the field. A lot of them don't even work a W-2 anymore. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. If you make enough money to where you can make a full-time living off of doing YouTube videos and selling courses, more power to, listen, I would love to be in a position to where I derive the bulk of my income from making YouTube videos and selling courses. I would love to be in that position. I wouldn't have to get up at the crack of dawn to get ready for work in the morning. I wouldn't have to, I can come to quote unquote work in my damn boxer shorts and just get busy. That would be great. But the way my YouTube channel is set up and my viewership is set up, it ain't working out like that right now. Maybe one day in the future, but not right now. So I got to go to work, but I don't have an issue with going to work because I like what I do. and I'm cool with the people I work with. But most importantly, I know exactly what I'm making so that I can properly plan my life instead of me just 100% relying upon hoping and praying I hit a certain number off of YouTube AdSense or me selling courses so that I can maintain my lifestyle. Even if let's just say my YouTube channel blew up and I started selling courses and I'm making a crap ton of money. I've even entertained, I even thought about this. I would probably still keep my job at least until I turn 50, because I'll be 50 years old in 6 years. So I'll probably still work my job, even though I'm making more money off of this, because I don't have an issue with my job. I'm cool with it. The worst are the influencers who have to downplay search to sell their own course. Yeah, we just talked about that. So like I say, most people, influencers who try to knock something down that somebody else or some other industry is pushing, is because they're trying to get you to buy their stuff. I don't have an issue with you selling your stuff, but I just think people need to be a little bit more upfront about why they're saying something sucks over here. It's because you're trying to get them to buy into what you got over here. That's why. I mean, just be honest and let the people make a decision. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm like, if you don't like IT, cybersecurity stuff, you want to be a programmer, I don't have an issue with it. It's not hurting me because I still got a job already. I don't do this full time. But at the end of the day, this is your career that you have to take accountability for. Look, we got people in here dropping names. I'm not even going to highlight the comment. Why do you believe there's so much resistance to acquiring formal engineering and computer information system degrees in the manosphere? So here's the thing. I think there's so-called resistance because you have to go to college, right? Look, I went to college, Tuskegee University, to be an aerospace engineer. That was my major, aerospace engineering. I didn't get into IT for real till I joined the military in 2002, right? I think in the manosphere, you have a lot of people that push certifications and skills over college because, one, it's a cheaper alternative. And in this economy, especially if you're dealing with IT type of stuff, there are just so many opportunities that you don't necessarily have to have a college degree to succeed, to make a lot of money. And I believe it. And this is coming from a person. I have 3 college degrees. I got an undergrad and 2 master degrees, right? But even still, I don't necessarily think you need college to be successful in today's market. Like, you can go out there, get certified and get skilled up and get it booming out in these streets and make 6 figures or damn near 6 figures. Now, there are certain things in life where you have to have a degree. You want to be a doctor, got to have a degree. Want to be a lawyer, got to have a degree. Stuff like that. But in IT, there's just a lot of fields in IT, programming, cybersecurity, networking, cloud. You don't necessarily need a college degree to make money to get it booming. Now, there might be certain positions if you want to move up to management or a corporate level or whatever, or the executive suite or whatever, C-suite, you might have to have a degree. But in this economy, there's just so many things you can do that doesn't necessarily require you to have a degree. So I don't totally disagree with that assessment, right? Because I won a scholarship to go to college, right? For my undergrad. And then I used my GI Bill, my post 9/11 GI Bill, to go back to graduate school to get my master's in IT and my MBA. I took 2.5, 3 years off, wasn't even working. They were paying me to go to school, right? Now, between my undergrad degree and my 2 graduate degrees, if you added up the price that it took to get all that damn education, we're looking at a bill of probably like $150,000 damn dollars or some crazy number like that. I've never paid for college. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I was in a position where I didn't have a scholarship or I didn't have my GI Bill, do you think I'm finna be super excited to go take out a student loan to go to college? As a matter of fact, let me talk about my son, my oldest son, a senior in high school. He just got accepted to a college in the state of Florida. I'm not going to say what the name of the university is. It's a college that I never even heard of, right? But when I looked it up, apparently it's somewhat of a prestigious college. This college costs, if he were to go there for all 4 years, stay in the dorms, eat at the cafeteria, and all the other amenities, he would have a bill of $250,000, right? And so what happened was my son applied for this school, and then a couple weeks later, they sent him the acceptance letter. So he read the letter, and I'm reading the letter. I'm like, holy crap, my son got accepted into a college. Way to go, son. Then I keep reading further down. The school is like, oh, in addition to your son being accepted, we're going to give your son an $80,000 scholarship to go here. I was like, what? I looked at my son like, damn, you the man out in these streets. Your scholarship was more than mine. It's like, they giving you 80 racks. I'm like, God damn, what the hell going on here? So I looked up the school. I was like, oh, this is why they're doing it. Because this school costs $250,000 to go to. So even when you factor in the $80,000 that they're going to basically take off the tuition, and then you factor in the 529 plan that I've been paying on since he was 7 months old, right? We're still shy. We still walk up out of there like a bill for like $125,000. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know if college, with how expensive it is today, I don't know if it's really worth it for a lot of people. Unless you got a scholarship, unless you got a rich relative, or you hit the lottery. If you don't fall into those three categories, and you're trying to go major in something like IT, I don't necessarily know if you need to go to college right off the jump. You can go to a tech college, community college, sign up for Tech G stuff, go get a certification, then go get a job, and then maybe go work for a company that will pay for you to go to college. Like, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? So maybe there's pushback because of the cost of college and how it can financially set so many people back, as opposed to you just getting a certification and then boom, you could be off to the races. So like I say, one of my former students that I'm going to be talking to tomorrow, 2.5, 3 years ago, he was making $12 an hour working at Publix, bagging up groceries. Today, he's getting job offers to pay him 6 figures working in tech, and he ain't got no damn college degree. He just got straight certifications and experience over the past 2 or 3 years. Degree tech professionals earn more and have access to higher paying and higher salaries, such as directors, VPs, CTOs. Listen, everybody doesn't want to be a director or a VP or a CTO. CTO is Chief Technology Officer, in case y'all didn't know. Everybody doesn't want to do that. See, we're just assuming that people want to go into these roles. Everybody doesn't want to be in a leadership management position, because everybody's personality type isn't built for that. Only you know what you're built for. But when we had these conversations, we just assume that everybody wants to be a VP. Everybody wants to be a CTO, the CISO, the CEO, the CIO, hell, even the CEO. Everybody just assumes this stuff. You do realize that there are just some people that just want to get into their position, be left alone, pay me my $150,000 a year or whatever, and leave me to my devices. Let me do my thug thizzle over here, click-clacking on these computers and submitting these reports and going to these damn meetings and let me be. There are a lot of people that are like that. And you can get paid a pretty handsome salary without having to necessarily go into a leadership position. Now, like I said, I'm not telling you not to, but we gotta face facts here. There are just people that don't want to be in that position. But just because you're not in those positions, that doesn't mean that you can't make a lot of money, because you can, and especially in tech. Good point. You can work for a company and still do your own thing on the side. It's safe that way, and you now have multiple streams of income. Nothing wrong working for someone else. The only thing you got to do is check to make sure that you didn't sign some type of non-compete clause or some type of thing in your employment contract saying that you can't moonlight. If you didn't sign any of that stuff prior to taking your job, then you are free to do whatever the hell you want to do, right? But if you got accepted into a job and then during the onboarding process, they have you sign a non-compete, because I know my last company I worked for, I had to sign a non-compete. The non-compete was good for like 5 years. Basically, they said I couldn't start up a business because I had so much intimate details of their business because I helped design it. You know what I'm saying? I helped design the stuff that going into the database, but I had so much of a intricate detail and knowledge of their business that they had me sign a non-compete saying that I couldn't start up my own business doing this for 4 or 5 years within a 50 or 75 mile radius. Right? Now, I don't know how well that would uphold if I were to take it to a lawyer. And I never, like I said, I never even entertained doing it, starting my own thing, because it was just way too much. But that was one of the stipulations of my employment, because I had so much detailed knowledge of of what they did, how they made their money, and plus I was intricate in designing the damn thing that they had to have me sign something saying that you cannot go out there and do your own thing because you just know everything. You know what I'm saying? So high school diplomas with a few certs will not give you the same options as an engineering degree from Tuskegee, Georgia Tech, or Auburn. I disagree. I went to Tuskegee. I know a lot of people who graduated from Tuskegee. We graduated 20 years ago that aren't making nowhere near the money that I make. A lot of them are saddled down with student debt to this day. You know what I'm saying? And that largely depends upon what career field you went into. So somebody said you said the engineering degree. Listen, go look up the average salaries of engineers. A lot of them probably make, let's just take an electrical engineer or chemical engineer. A lot of them probably make about $75,000, $80,000 a year. Now, depending upon where you live, that could be a lot of money or it could be a little bit of money. But if you think that the average engineer is making 150 plus thousand or whatever the case may be, you'll be sadly mistaken. A lot of them ain't making, unless they've been working there for a very long time. Here's the thing. To go get an engineering degree, it'll take you on average 4 to 5 years to get an engineering degree. And then you're going to come out with your degree, and then you're going to go start working for a company, and they're going to be paying you probably about $55,000, $60,000 a year starting off at that company, right? Now, once again, we got to remember, did you have a scholarship when you went to college? Did you got a rich family member that paid for your education? Is the company going to be paying your tuition back as a condition of your employment? Like if you ain't got that type of stuff going on, or you got some extra money coming in just to wipe that crap out, if you ain't got that going on, but you got your engineering degree and you're making $55,000, $60,000, $65,000 a year starting off, well, guess what? How much of that money is being allocated towards your student debt now? Now, take the same person, 18 years old, fresh out of high school, decides I'm just going to go to tech college, or I'm going to take Tech G's class, and I'm going to get A+, Net Plus, Security Plus certified. Within that same 4 or 5 year window, by the time that 18-year-old is about 22, 23 years old, this kid could potentially be cracking 6 figures within that same amount of time. But this kid doesn't have any student debt attached to him. So I don't necessarily know. You know what I'm saying? I just think in today's world, college isn't, I'm not opposed to college. Me personally, I think you only need to go to college for a couple things, STEM and law. That's it. But I just don't know if you want to work in tech, I don't know if it's something that you have to do because you have to do it to be successful. No. If you want to learn cybersecurity cloud, just go get some damn certifications, get a job, and build up experience. And then watch your Indeed and your LinkedIn email start blowing up, because people want to, once you redo your resume, because people want to hire you or offer you jobs. You understand what I'm saying? I think I read that one already. At the end of the day, each person must choose the path that will lead to personal and professional growth. Life is a marathon. Work smart and enjoy life and family. Yeah, facts. Super facts. I 100% agree with that. Because, I always tell people, younger people, like 18-year-olds and stuff, go out there and get the bag, man. Go out there and get as much money as you can at a young age, so that when you start getting older, 30 years old, 40, staring at 50 years old, hopefully you've made enough money, stacked up enough money, invested enough money to where now you can start kind of pulling back to where you don't have to be out there constantly chasing the bag. Because when it comes to working in tech and IT and working these corporate jobs, chasing the bag, that really means you're working 10-hour days. You know what I'm saying? 5 days a week, 10, 11-hour days. When you're young in your 20s and you got all the energy and stamina in the world and you ain't got no wife, husband, and kids, you can do that. Me, I'll be 44 years old in April. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to chill, B. I don't want to be 50 plus years old putting in 70, 80 hours a week. No, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to work my regular 40, 45, 50 hours a week or whatever the hell it is. Get as much money as I can, but I'm just not trying to be out there, quote unquote, chasing the bag like that. I would rather chase the bag through other forms of passive income so that hopefully I can spend time hanging out with my family and my kids because they're getting older. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 nieces now. You know what I'm saying? They're about to be 1 year old this year. I want to chop it up with my nieces, man. Do the whole uncle thing. You know what I'm saying? The coding guy in the video doesn't make sense. If you have skills and experience in cyber, just get a new job. The jobs are there. Opportunities are out there. Yes, a gang of IT jobs all over the place. If you don't like what you're doing, go get another job. Somebody will probably hire you. There's ups and downs in the private sector. However, there's usually more stability in government, tech, and Fed, state, county, city, and government jobs. Yeah, that's true too. Some people like to knock working for the government. Shoot, you get you a government job, it's damn near impossible to get fired from a government job. You damn near got to kill somebody at the job and be caught on tape as your supervisor is walking in the door with the police to get fired from a government job. Like once you went to a government job and you got a clearance, because I forgot to tell you, I got a top secret clearance. But if you got a security clearance, oh, you in there. You in there for life, baby. You know what I'm saying? And it can come with some nice pay and some benefits. But you up in there. So do not knock the government jobs, whether they're city government, because there's some little city government jobs that pay some decent money too. It ain't just about the federal government. Oh, I'm working for the NSA. I'm working for the FBI, the CIA, one of the big 3-letter companies. Now you can get busy out there with your local government too, if that's what you want to do. Excuse me. I'm hungry. My wife made some chicken. I'm here talking to y'all. What is it with people downplaying things to make their own content sell, whether it's downplaying certs? Yeah, we just talked about that. They're trying to get their stuff to sell. The check is nice. It can be nice. Listen, I don't want to be out here saying that everybody who works in tech, you're all going to be living. First of all, you can make $100,000 a year and still be broke. You guys do realize that, because what happens is the more money people make, the more they tend to spend, the more debt they tend to go into. There are people who make $50,000 who have better financial sense than somebody making $100,000. And they're living a somewhat better financial life, right? Because they're not saddled just because you make $100,000. They're not saddled with $50,000 in credit card debt and some crazy crap like that. So it just depends on your financial literacy. How financially fiscal are you with your own personal bank account? And then those checks can be nice. But if you want these people out here, you making 100 racks, you on Instagram holding up money phones, and now you out here attracting all these women, and now you become a serial baby daddy, where you got baby mamas all over the place, and now child support just draining your paycheck. But you're like, but I make $150,000. Well, how much of that money do you actually get to keep? Well, after I do this and pay this and that and pay my 2 baby mamas, child supports and all that, now you know what I'm saying? Now you on the same level as a dude making 50. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be cautious. Yes, the checks can be nice, but Biggie said it the best: more money, more problems. But go out there and get the money. Just be financially responsible, because what if people like to get the money, then they like to come online and show everybody they're making the money. Look at me, man. I got the new Lexus. I got the new this. I got the new. It's like, everybody don't need to know that. Unless you're trying to get robbed out in these streets. No, I didn't discourage you. Thanks for the feedback. I'm interested in automation, Selenium, WebDriver, and Python from scratch frameworks. I did subscribe to your channel. Shout out to Sharon for subscribing to the channel. It's the best decision you ever made, Sharon. And bug bounties can help earn extra money too. Yep. There are websites out there. They put out these little bounties so you can go out there and figure out how to prevent people from breaking into their crap. Or, whatever the hell, bug bounties, they can vary. You got some companies, they'll put out like a little bounty to see if you can break into their software so that they can fix it and patch it up so it won't become an issue when they actually put it into production. And they'll pay people to do that. So you just got to be on them websites. And I think they actually got a website that actually keeps track of all the bounties out there. I can't think of the name of it, though. Yeah, man. Twerking and shaking. That's right. People out there twerking and shaking. Look, if you can make money off twerking and shaking, more power to you. Twerking and shaking don't work for me. Yeah, shout out to LS3. So, like I say, this is the dude. If you guys want to go learn coding and stuff, hell, he even learned. Listen, LS3 can teach you how to speak Spanish. I think he has another YouTube channel where he teaches people how to speak Spanish. And he just he works in Mexico, or I don't know. Anyways, he ain't never spoke Spanish a day in his life other than Yo Quiero Taco Bell. He ingratiated himself into the culture, and this joker is fully fluent in Spanish, so he can teach you how to code and speak Spanish. But yeah, that's the guy's video that I shared. But yeah, he's the one. He says programming certs are generally worthless. So like I said, he's the coder. You want to know about programming, go get your info from him. You have brilliant ideas. I tend to think I do. I'm in Africa, but want to take a career in IT, networking, cybersecurity. What would you recommend for me? I recommend you sign up to Tech G. Shout out to my Africans out there. I used to work with some of y'all when I was in Afghanistan. Shout out to my Africans out there. And look, here's the thing about Africa. I had to do a research paper on the continent of Africa when I was getting my master's. But let me answer. So here's what you can do, my African brother out there, man. You go hit this damn subscribe button on Tech G. You start going through these doggone courses. Now, this is free. All of this is free. Some of these you got to pay about $10 a month. But I promise you're going to get right out in these streets. And then we're going to add you to the wall of fame over here where you out here talking about you passed your certifications. But let's talk about Africa. So I had to do a research paper on Africa for my master's degree about when I was going for my master's in IT. There's like 2 billion people on the continent of Africa. Out of those 2 billion people, there's only like 500 million people that have access to the internet on that entire continent. And right now you got China going all over Africa, laying down infrastructure in terms of highways and stuff like that. But you also got Google, Facebook, and other big tech companies, Elon Musk and them. They're trying to lay an IT digital infrastructure in Africa because there are 2 billion people with about 1.5 billion people that don't have access to the internet. And they're trying to get these people smartphones. They're trying to set up cell phone towers out there. So here's the thing. Here's what I'm saying. Let's just say you want to get started in tech. Even if you're in Africa or even if you're an American, there are companies in Africa laying down the IT infrastructure to try to help bring all 2 billion people online. So that might be opportunities for people to go out there and make a lot of money while you're overseas. while you're traveling and seeing the world, doing the damn thing like that. Like, you don't just have to be restricted to the confines of America. God bless America, damn it. I love this country, right? I've been and seen places in the Mideast that'll make you cry. You come back, you know what I'm saying? Some of y'all hate America, but take your ass to Afghanistan and come back. You'll be like, damn, America ain't that bad. Go America, right? You saw Brittany Griner, what happened when she got locked up in Russia. But anyways, you're not just limited to the confines of America. You could take your tech skills and go to some of these underdeveloped countries, third world countries, and they might pay you some pretty good money to go out there and do some things with tech to try to bring them countries up to speed with the rest of the damn civilized or first world, however the hell we phrase it, the rest of the world, because it's booming out there. So these are things that you should consider. And if you already live on the continent or one of them other places, and you get into tech, you might put yourself in a position where you could possibly make a lot of money because you'll be one of the few that knows how to get busy out there, and you live out there. I didn't know you needed a degree to work in cybersecurity. I would have never went. I was 3 years in when I found out certs is all I need. It depends on what you want to do. So look, I'm not here to say you shouldn't get a cybersecurity degree. My philosophy is, does a degree align with your professional aspirations? Some positions in tech do require you to have a degree. But then again, there are some positions that don't require it. They just require certs and or experience. So it just depends. Community college plus WGU will save you a lot of money. Yeah, shout out to community college, man. Like I said, getting back to my son over here. Truth be told, I would rather my son go to the local community college out here for the first 2 years and learn, because he wants to major in information technology. So I'm like, man, we can go to the local community college out here, and I can teach you the damn certifications because that's what I do. I'm your father. So you ain't gonna pay for nothing. So you can knock out your associate's degree, get these damn certs, say we can be saving buku cheese. And if you decide, hey, Pops, I want to go to FAMU, I want to go to Florida State, I want to go to Florida Tech, I want to transfer to a major university, then we can do that. But we ain't gonna come out of college with this stupid ass bill, this big ass bill. You know what I mean? Then we can get cracking. Excuse me. What certs do we attack for cybersecurity? So I did a video on this. All right. So let me go ahead and show you the video. I mean, I'm not going to play it, but I'm going to tell you how to find it. So you subscribe to the world's greatest YouTube channel, right? You go to the playlist over here and you hit the live stream. The live stream playlist. This video right here, how to make 100,000 in tech with CompTIA. I went over that question right there. So go watch that video. That video will answer your questions. Who this? Did I already read that? Yeah, I did. Shout out to AM1. This is the guy that designed the Tech G intro. Where y'all hear my music, that's the guy that did that. So if you need some graphics work, go holler at him. Just found your channel this past weekend and really like the videos with jobs you can get with different certs. Just wondering, do you have any more? I have an idea what to look for coming from manufacturing. Let me read this again. Just found your channel this past weekend and really like the videos with jobs. Oh, so you want me to do more videos talking about jobs that you can get with certifications. I did 3 of those videos, 3 or 4 of them videos already. Because like I say, I mostly focus on entry-level stuff, entry-level tech advice, tech education. I don't really go beyond that because that's not who my core audience is. But I would just tell you, man, just let me read this one more time. Make sure you can get with different certs. Just wondering. Oh, okay. Let me share my screen. Hold on. So once again, where we at? All right. So I did a couple of videos. So if you go through about 2 months ago, Let me find them. Oh, here we go, right here. So you go back about 2 months. I did 3 months, A plus video, network plus video, and a security plus video. Basically talking about different jobs you can possibly get with these 3 certifications right here. It was a pretty extensive list, a realistic list. But if you want me to do stuff like, well, what can I get with CCNA? What can I get with this? What can I get with that? A lot of those jobs for those higher level certs are the same jobs I already talked about. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are the same jobs, right? Because when you go look at the job description, they might list something like you need a CCNA, or you need the Network Plus, or you need both. Or if you go look for a cybersecurity job, they might be like, you need to have your CEH or your pen tests. Or, but as a prerequisite, they might be like, or you need your security plus. So a lot of these higher level certs will qualify for some of these jobs that I already listed. But like I say, being that my channel is just dedicated to newbies to tech, I don't really talk too much about higher level certs because we got to understand the basics first before we start getting into the higher advanced stuff. So that's why I do it this way on this channel. I'm not downplaying cybersecurity. I might switch over. But I don't know, LS3. So your man's here. Let me put my screen share back on. Your man's here. Go watch this video from the beginning. And shout out to this dude. Like I say, this ain't no shade to this brother. But your man's here, coding phase. He said cybersecurity is boring as hell. And I don't disagree with him that much. You know what I'm saying? Here's the link to that video. I don't disagree with him that much. But I just think he has, I don't really agree with some of the reasons he outlined. He does coding, programming, but I think he has his own business and stuff like that. But what he was saying is, we boring over here. I'm like, listen, it might be, but them paychecks aren't boring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not going to teach you how to hack anything. Matter of fact, I think you can actually get your channel dinged on YouTube if you start teaching people how to hack. Like if I made a video showing you how to hack into something and you actually went out there and did it, I can possibly get my channel terminated. So no, I'm not going to teach you how to hack anything. Not on my channel. Nope. I like my little YouTube checks. Recycling guy, I ain't seen you in a minute, man. I actually signed up for the Google cybersecurity course. Would be likely looking to pivot. Okay. Yeah, I did a video talking about that too, I think. All right, y'all. Anyways, I'm about to chuck deuces. I've been on here for 2.5 hours. I was supposed to go through some questions. Next live stream, I'm going to go through some questions that y'all have posted in the comments. I think I got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got about 10 of those questions to go through. We'll do that. But I'm about to get off and go eat some chicken. Wife made some chicken. I'm about to go stuff my face with some chicken, baby. My wife is the best cook, man. Oh. My wife is all you dudes out there talking about, I don't want to never get married. I don't want to do, man, shit. Whatever. I'm glad to be married. My wife's chicken is amazing. The hell is y'all talking about? The day-to-day of cybersecurity is boring. You got to entertain yourself in your own time. Yeah, man. Listen, like I said, the job ain't exciting. It ain't like you in there looking at strippers, like you working, like you in the network operations center, the security operations center, and all of a sudden some strippers come up in there and start sliding up and down the pole. Like, no, that stuff ain't happening, B. You in there staring at screens, looking at lights, waiting on tickets to come in, hoping nothing major happens while you surfing the internet and buying crap off Amazon. But you trying to, but them paychecks are fun. When the paycheck deposits, and you look at your bank account and you like, oh snap, it's time to go do the damn thing. That's the fun. The Google search help with the CompTIA Security Plus, and they give a discount for it. Okay, that's what's up. Shout out to you, Tactical Tune. All right, y'all. I'm about to chuck deuces, man. So yeah, that's it. I'm about to go. Appreciate everybody stopped up in here. Hit the subscribe button, join the channel membership, tell your mama, your daddy, your baby mama about it so they can get certified out in these streets. And I appreciate all 17,400 of y'all supporting the channel. One day we'll get to 20 and beyond. But right now, I appreciate every last one of y'all. All right, I'm out. Y'all be safe. Peace.